Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is episode 33. I have had a little hiatus. I've been poorly for a week basically. Absolutely dying. Yeah, started off as a runny nose, ended up as a chest infection. Yep, but I'm back at work now. Today I tackled the only job I really need to tackle before steaming this, and I'm fixing this bung hole. It's not square. Whoever's drilled and tapped the hole unfortunately hasn't done it straight, so when you actually clamp down a flange surface on top of it, the clamping effect will not have any help. So if I'm going to use this as a filling hole, I need to make sure it's nice and flat so I can get it sealed perfectly when I do remove and reinstall the plug that's going into it. So first things first today, I'm taking it off. I'm basically undoing the top, taking all the bolts out, and I'll lever out the lid. Luckily I don't actually need to take the dome cover off on this one. Just a little bit of a gentle persuasion with a hammer and it comes off. I've stripped all the paint off. I've made a stepped bung and I've milled out the hole. So I've stuck it on the milling machine, used a fly cutter, and basically removed all the threads from the hole that I am plugging. So I've made a welding boss. It's stepped, it's got a taper on the bottom, and it's threaded internally to accept the bung, just giving everything a good clean off here with some brake cleaner, which then needs to evaporate prior to welding, because yeah, that won't be fun if you're welding with brake cleaner all over it. Everything bursts into flames. I've got a very tight fit here. It just leads in, and then I'm going to use the vise and push it home. I end up actually taking this through to the 10-ton press and pushing it all the way home. I didn't quite get it all the way in, just using the leverage force on this bench vise here. Don't want to go bending my handle or snapping the jaws off on the cast iron vise. But yeah, once it's all together, another quick douche with some brake cleaner, just get rid of any other dirt. And then I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes for that brake cleaner to fully evaporate off the surface, give it nice and clean in preparation of welding. And then on to welding it. So I'm starting from the underside and I'm just filling the void that is created by the tapered end on the underside of the lid. And then onto the top, I'm going to do 2 full passes around this. I've scrubbed all the coating off of the steel welding wire. Therefore, it totally eliminates the porosity of the weld. Nice 75 amps here. I think I'm running on the first pass, getting a decent penetration without much undercut. Good clean up with a wire brush, and then I go back in at second pass, get a lot more heat into it, get a lot more penetration, and put a cap on the weld that I've already put in place. As I'm doing it, I'm also inspecting the weld to make sure there is no obvious signs of holes, and just giving it a good cap, not letting it cool down all the way around, and getting a nice good fillet all the way around. Now I've generated quite a lot of heat in this. I have to leave it for about an hour for it to cool down fully before I can paint it. But yeah, I've given it a good clean up with a wire brush. I'm going to go and sandblast it before paint, get all the old paint off so I get a nice even coat when it comes to sticking in the paint booth. And then it's just about 3 coats of high temperature black paint on the lid. I also paint all the studs. I hadn't painted them before and there was a little bit of oxidation going on, so I've painted all the studs. That should all look nice once it's all put back together again. And then just bolting it all back down again. Yeah, so just putting all the studs in, tightening them up in a cross pattern, and then I replace the safety valves and put the new bung in place. Now, this is the engine pretty much ready for steaming. I will hopefully be wheeling it outside in the morning, filling it full of water, throwing a fire in it and see what happens. And yeah, that video may well be a little bit late coming out due to the fact it's going to be a lot more editing involved in that video. Hopefully going to make a nice one. But thank you very much for watching. Please, if you do like the video, press the like button, leave comments, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And yeah, it's really coming to the end. One thing I will say about this engine is I'm not going to be renaming it. I'm just going to leave it blank. I'm going to stick some bolts in the holes. I'm not putting a name on it. That's going to be up for the new customer, whoever it may be, to pick a name. And we'll make some plates and slap it on. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.